we now think is Andrew McCabe, need an insurance policy against Donald Trump if he's on his way to win the election. What exactly did that mean? Now, Judicial Watch just announced that it has filed a lawsuit to gain access to all the FBI records about the removal of Strzok from the Mueller investigation. Here's what the deal is. You, the American people, you deserve answers. There's a lot at stake here. This all reeks of this deep state we've been telling you about and their effort to undermine a candidate that then became president. And the Wall Street Journal is reporting that this apparent meeting between Strzok, Page, and McCabe happened during the same time the FBI started its counterintelligence investigation into, quote, possible Trump-Russia ties. And as we've been telling you, this FBI agent, Peter Strzok, is tied to everything. And his FBI lawyer girlfriend also served on Robert Mueller's team. Here's what we know about Strzok. Before being demoted from Mueller's investigation, he was a top counterintelligence official. He was the guy that actually signed the document that kicked off the Russian investigation. Strzok's team also oversaw the handling of the anti-Trump dossier, the Russian propaganda, when it was given to the FBI. He was in charge of the interview of former National Security Advisor Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. And this is where it gets really interesting. Given Strzok's anti-Trump, pro-Hillary text messages, he also played a pivotal role in this Clinton email exoneration so-called investigation. Now, this includes sitting in on Hillary's FBI interview. Remember, that was in July. In May, they already were writing the exoneration. He was also in the room for the interviews with key Clinton aides, Uma Abedin, Cheryl Mills. And this is the most damning piece of information when it comes to Strzok. He's the guy. He's the one that actually changed the legal standard language in James Comey's exoneration statement about Hillary Clinton from grossly negligent to extreme carelessness. Well, that allowed Hillary Clinton a get-out-of-jail-free card. That allowed the fix to be in from the get-go, even though we know she broke the law. What in God's name is Robert Mueller thinking? To have ever put together this abusively biased, this corrupt FBI agent and so many other people that have agendas on his so-called investigative team. Mueller claims to have, impeccable integrity, a sterling reputation. Why would anybody allow that to happen? And then again, that all seems to make sense when you consider all the Democratic donors that Mueller has handpicked to be part of the investigation. Now, these investigators have given over $50 grand in cash to Democrats, including Barack Obama and, you guessed it, Hillary Clinton. Just one donated to a Republican, and none of them gave any money to the Trump campaign. This entire investigation is corrupt to its core. It has now become a witch hunt. And it's now the time where Jeff Sessions needs to do his job. It's time for you, the American people, to understand this. According to a new poll, 54% say Robert Mueller has a conflict of interest because of his friendship, he's BFF with James Comey. And as we've been telling you, these two are best friends. And as Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett has pointed out on many an occasion, their relationship could also actually be a violation of the law. Calling Attorney General Sessions, where are you? Step up and do your job. Joining us now, the president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, investigative journalist Sarah Carter, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. We'll start with you, Greg. Where do you begin when you read this Comey exoneration and written early May? She doesn't get interviewed until July. Others don't get interviewed. The fix was in.
Well, these are the papers that we've just obtained, and it shows very clearly that James Comey felt that Hillary Clinton committed crimes. Somebody rewrote it. It appears to be Peter Strzok. And what would his motivation be? It's revealed in his emails with Lisa Page when she writes, "You are here because you were meant to protect the country from that menace," meaning Donald Trump. If Peter Strzok and others, including Comey, set out to exonerate Clinton for purely political motives in the face of overwhelming evidence of criminality, that is obstruction of justice by Strzok and Comey and others.
These are, meaning if the fix was in, Greg, Comey should go to jail.
Comey initially wrote in these papers, his exoneration paper, that the sheer volume of classified documents on Clinton's server is evidence of criminality. And somebody removed that from the statement in clearing Hillary Clinton.
Unbelievable. Let me bring in Tom Fitton. Tom, why don't you explain? Listen, Judicial Watch has been doing amazing work. Let's talk about your revelations that you found.
Well, the State Department, once again, was making secret deals with Hillary Clinton to let her take documents away. And the deal was that the documents were the call logs, the schedules. There were gift logs, by the way, gifts. And some of those documents, according to the State Department promises to Hillary Clinton's representative, would not be subject to the Freedom of Information Act, meaning they'd be kept secret from the American people.
You want to bet they're gone forever? Like everything else the Clintons do, the fix is in, then they destroy, servers, delete, break up. Who breaks up their BlackBerry except the Clintons? Well, maybe Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I don't know. But really, who does this? Unless you're hiding something.
Right, and this State Department also let her walk away with those 60,000 emails, including classified information. And so it's no surprise they're hesitant to turn over the records to us, and we got to sue. And, unfortunately, we're facing battles with this Justice Department and this State Department over efforts to get all of her emails, over efforts to hold her accountable about the damage done to our national security as a result of putting classified information essentially on the internet equivalent of a park bench. I don't understand why it is we're battling this Justice Department. They're defending Hillary Clinton in court, Sean. It is worse than you even know, in the sense that
I don't get Jeff Sessions. My patience, it's fried at this point. I don't know what's going on over there, but if we believe in our Constitution, we believe in equal justice under the law, they've got to step up here. And I don't know what it's going to take. Sarah Carter, let me go to you. This is blockbuster. If we're talking about the Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure, you have talked to long-serving NSA legal officials and others, law enforcement, about the FBI's use of this NSA surveillance program, and that, in fact, it's being misused. Specifically, explain.
Well, yeah, specifically what they do is they have the NSA has a surveillance program that's meant to capture everything on foreigners. But what they've done is they used it as a backdoor. The FBI uses it as a backdoor to do warrantless searches on Americans. And this is a huge problem. I mean, they've admitted to it. We know that Comey testified about this just before he was fired, and he adamantly stated that we never did anything illegal. But the problem is when the FIS courts, when the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance courts took a look at this, they said, wait a minute, no, you mishandled this program, and you were actually using it as a backdoor without a warrant, and 1 out of 20 searches, upstream data searches, were done inappropriately, and they even said they think it was far greater than that. And the only reason why these intelligence officials and law enforcement officials, Sean, came forward is because they were so concerned after what happened with President Trump and his team, particularly the unmasking and the revelations that people in Obama's administration had requested all of this information. They thought it was important that this be exposed.
As you listen to this, all of this as a lawyer, and, it's sort of like we have been on this program with the help of you, John Solomon, Sarah Carter, Tom Fitton. There's a small group of us unpeeling layer of this onion, and I see a big house of cards that is about to come collapsing in, because now we're getting to the raw part of this, which is there is a deep state. Laws are being broken. The things we've been saying about weaponizing the intelligence community and corrupt people at the highest levels.
Including a top Department of Justice official who was removed for concealing his meetings with Fusion GPS, the dossier.
Bruce Orr and his wife, who did the op research against Trump for Fusion GPS.
If the FBI and the Department of Justice used a phony dossier in their affidavit in support of a warrant to spy on Trump associates, wiretapping them, that's a fraud on the court. That's a crime. You can't use dubious information in support of a federal court order.
You watched as I did the hearings yesterday. We saw a very passionate Trey Gowdy, a very passionate Jim Jordan. And I'm sitting there, and it's everything we have all been unfolding. And I said to my audience, this should have sounded familiar, because this is what we've been covering. How close do you think we are to now getting to the truth, and who's in trouble tonight?
Well, I think Congress is going to demand the truth and begin holding people in contempt of Congress if they continue to defy
Hillary Clinton, should she be worried tonight?
Oh, Clinton should be very, very worried tonight.
Should Uma Abedin be worried?
Yes.
Cheryl Mills?
Yes.
James Comey?
Yes.
Robert Mueller?
Robert Mueller, you know, it's hard to say because he does have a distinguished record. However, the people he put on this special counsel team.
Is it not clear that by now he has an agenda?
Clear bias.
Rosenstein, is he in trouble?
Oh, yes. He's conflicted out of this case. He refuses to
Andrew
do so.
McCabe?
He's in big trouble.
Sarah, you know all the players, you know all the information. You're covering all of these on many fronts. We haven't even mentioned Uranium One in any detail, but that's about to blow up in a big way. Who's in trouble tonight? Who should be worried tonight based on what we now know?
Well, what we now know, I think Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is going to be in big trouble. I know that Congress is looking at him now. They probably are going to try to get his text messages or subpoena documents that what he's been involved in from the FBI. I think.
How about Comey? Let's go through the list. Comey.
Yeah, I think Comey is in trouble. I think looking at this, they're definitely going to question him and ask him, why did you change this? Yes, I believe
Hillary
so
Clinton?
too. Oh, yeah, I think she's been worried about this for a long time.
Cheryl Mills?
Absolutely.
Uma?
Absolutely.
Anyone else you can think of?
Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. I mean, I think they're already in trouble.
Yeah. Tom, you agree with all that?
Yeah, I think there's a likelihood the Clinton investigations get reopened. The Mueller investigation is derailed as a result of the compromises caused by having this FBI special agent involved. The #2 deputy being a Hillary Clinton activist going to her election night party, sending an email to Sally Yates praising her anti-Trump actions as an Obama holdover acting attorney general. Look, just so you know, Sean, we looked into the prosecutors that Mueller hired. We couldn't find anyone who was a registered Republican.
Exit question.
We did find 10 registered Democrats, no registered Republicans on Mueller's team.
Okay. Exit question, yes or no question. Bigger than Watergate?
In so many different ways, it is.
Sarah?
It's more pervasive.
Sarah?
Yes, I think so. And I agree with Greg.
Spying by the FBI, Justice Department, intelligence agencies on the political opponents of the administration of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Bigger than Watergate by far.
I say Watergate on steroids, human growth hormone overdoses. Thank you both. This is serious. All right. You don't want to miss 1 minute of tonight's show. When we come back, we're going to get Newt Gingrich's reaction to all of this breaking news. That's straight ahead.